Hello, welcome back. It is a gorgeous summer day, except I know it's not summer technically yet, but it sure feels like it. It's like 25 degrees, which is wild. So yeah, welcome to another wrap-up video. Feeling good about this one. It was actually a really great reading month. I feel like I read more than usual. I wasn't working as much, so I just had a lot of time on my hands to read and chill and sad girl. No, just kidding. Anyway, so yeah, let's get started. I'm not gonna talk about every single book that I've read because I did do quite a few reading vlogs for this month, so I'm not gonna repeat myself. So that goes for like the first 3 books that I'm gonna just very briefly mention and move on to ones that I haven't discussed yet. So the first book that I read this month was Approaching Eye Level by Vivian Gornick, and that was a book of essays, which I absolutely loved. There's one passage in particular which I read to you all in that vlog that has stuck with me ever since I read that book, and yeah, it was incredible. I really liked her voice. That was the first of her work that I've ever read, but definitely won't be the last. And yes, I was super glad that I just randomly picked that up. Also, actually, all the books that I read this month were from the library, and I don't know, that just felt like a good accomplishment on my end. Like I didn't spend any, well, that's actually a lie. I was gonna say like I didn't even spend any money on books, but I did. I just haven't read them. But yeah, it just felt really good to have a month of just library picks, you know? So yeah, the next book I read, which I also talked about and absolutely enjoyed, What My Mother and I Don't Talk About. Again, short story essay collection, talking very vulnerably and openly about different authors and their relationships with their mothers. Incredible. Really, really enjoyed that book. It was also a great opportunity to discover new voices and know an author in a more like intimate way. Like I felt the whole time that I was like being privy to these really vulnerable and unique and intimate conversations between your like birth giver and you. So it was kind of cool to see certain authors whose work I've read before kind of disclose this so openly, and I thought that was incredibly brave and very cool. So I loved that book as well. Then I read You Dream of Terra 2 by Temi O, which that was like a completely different shift. I haven't read a book like that in a really long time. So it is like a science fiction kind of story where we discover that there is an uninhabited, well, that we know of, planet called Terra 2, and these kids essentially go to this school, and it's like this huge process of like, I was gonna say process of elimination, but anyways, it's just this really intense school where basically these kids are training to be astronauts, and at the end only 7 out of I don't know how many hundreds are picked to go on to the expedition to colonize Terra 2. And when I went into it, I thought that it was going to be more like, okay, yeah, blah, 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 like the first 100 pages, we get to Terra 2, and then it's going to talk all about the planet, but wrong. It's actually all takes place during the 23 years that it takes to get from Earth to the Earth-like planet Terra 2. And it's more about fleshing out the characters, their relationship to one another, their childhood, their upbringings, the weird like claustrophobia and intensity that you feel when you're living in such tight quarters with such different personalities. And there's also this underlying tension, I guess you could say, because there's a death at the beginning of the book, and I'm not ruining anything because it literally happens like in the first like couple chapters. So there's a death, suicide at the beginning of the book that informs and obviously influences everyone else in the story. So really interesting. I really liked it. There were times when I was like holding my breath and I just needed to read to see like how this is gonna end. Like I said, not what I was expecting, but I really liked it. It was a great story. It was quite a chunky book, but I actually got through it really fast. I really liked the writing, the characters were interesting, the story itself was cool. I do obviously now kind of want to know, I guess, well, actually no, I'm not going to say anything because then I'll spoil it. But anyways, read it if you want something new, kind of a change if you're typically a essay nonfiction reader, or if you're more into like more literary stuff. I feel like you should check that one out and maybe broaden your horizons because it's a good one. I really liked it. The next one I read was Heartberries by Terese Marie Mailhot, and apologies if I'm pronouncing that last name wrong. I'm horrible with pronunciation, but that book was a short little guy, but boy was it impactful. It's a memoir, and it documents the turbulent relationship between Terese Marie and her partner, as well as motherhood, being in academia, all of the intergenerational trauma from being or identifying as Indigenous. I think she's really good at illustrating the point in time in which she is writing from, and all of her feelings and emotions and intensity and everything that's going on in her brain really well. Like, I felt heavy while I was reading that book, like, and I think I read it too in like a single sitting, so I was just like so immersed, and when I finished I was like, whew, wow, that was intense. But also really enjoyed it. I just wasn't expecting it to be such a like dark, intense, moody read, so it kind of took me by surprise, but in the best way possible, because it was really cool to read about her positionality and things that shaped and informed her life as a single mother, as an Indigenous woman, her relationship with her family, with her kids, with her partner, mental illness. Yeah, incredible. 10 out of 10. Like I'm saying, this was like a great reading month. I was very pleased with the diversity in the content that I read and the quality and the stories. It was good. Okay, the next one, again, totally switching gears, is nonfiction as well, and it's Justice for Some, the Question of Palestine, and I mentioned that in a few videos this month, and I really wanted to pick it up because my friend Greta really recommended that book, and I'm really glad she did. It sort of historicizes the region, Palestine, through a legal lens, so looking at the legality and the justification that the state of Israel used to impose itself on the land, and the ramifications of that, and the continual effects that has had. But I highly encourage you to read that novel. Noura, Erakat, has had as well many talks, and I think they might actually have a podcast if I'm not mistaken, but definitely check her out as well. She is a international human rights lawyer, so that's kind of why she's obviously writing from a legal perspective, but yes, really, really good. And next, or I guess in tandem, I was actually reading The Death of Vivek Gy by Akwaeke Emezi. I liked that book. I did not think it was as good as Freshwater, but yeah, so I don't want to spoil that book because I think it's better to go into it not knowing. I didn't really know what I was in for, and it was not at all what I was expecting. I also did a reading vlog where I spoke about that book, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I really liked it. The story was very intriguing to me. It talks about a lot of interesting themes like sexuality, queerness. Okay, apologies, I got a phone call and that disconnected my video recording, and I was like, I just lost me blabbing on about books for like 10 minutes, but it's all here. Anyways, yes, The Death of Vivek Gy, I liked it, but it follows like the typical, I don't want to say typical blueprint because I think that's just doing the book a huge disservice, but it's nothing like novel. I was going to say it follows a typical blueprint of like a family, like life story or whatever, but I don't want to say that actually because I don't want to be mean, because I did like that book and it's much more complex and nuanced than just like a family drama, like Little Fires Everywhere. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, the last book I read, which I cannot wait for everyone to read this book because it's like perfection. And that is Open Water by Caleb Azumah Nelson. Moment of silence for that beautiful piece of art. Like, that book is incredible, out of this world, poetic, vulnerable, raw, honest. Oh my God, I didn't even know what I was in for. So we follow, it is autobiographical, and we follow this Black man living in London who starts this relationship with this gorgeous gal also living in London, also Black, and we kind of follow them in their journey, and other things happen. And yes, I'm being vague and ambiguous for a reason, but it was just so stunning. I found it incredibly refreshing to read Black male vulnerability and just male vulnerability in general, because I don't think that we read that enough and that's not highlighted enough. I thought it was absolutely so poetic, and his prose are like a beautiful melodic song. Like, it was just filled with metaphors, filled with so much richness, so vivid, and like I said, just raw, and so like open. It's like he's showing you his heart, like so introspective. Oh, I want to own that book so badly. That's the one book that I just did not even want to give away, that I didn't want to give back to the library, especially like, well, the whole book I would have underlined and footnoted, or not footnoted, dog-eared, but the last page of that book I reread like 4 times, and I actually read it one last time before I went into my library to give it back, because oh my God, it was just beautiful. I cannot wait to see what else this guy writes, because wow, I think that was like his debut novel, which is absolutely incredible. Like, I will never, I don't know why I'm picking me. No shit, I'm never gonna write anything like half as amazing as that. But yeah, that was such an incredible book. If there's one book at all that you should buy after watching this, or that you should get out from your library, it is Open Water. Trust me, you're gonna die. Like, it is out of this world. I know I'm not being eloquent and concise about why it is that I liked it, what about it was so special, and I wish I had Alex's brain right now from what book are you on, or what page are you on, so that I could do this book justice. And maybe I'm actually, maybe I'll give myself a challenge and do like a standalone review of that book. Now, don't be expecting that anytime soon, because I really have to like compose a Word doc with my thoughts and try and come up with something cohesive. But I just finished it yesterday, so it's still like very much on my mind. Anyways, yes, I hope you enjoyed this very rambly video. Apologies for not being so present this month. I don't know what it was. I was just not with it. But I am back now, and hopefully you'll be seeing more of my face soon. And yes, I hope you are reading lots and you're doing well. And yeah, just go and get yourself a copy of Open Water. Just trust me, okay? Fresh water, open water, one or the other, but please read them, because they're mind-blowing. I like that they both have water in the title. Yeah, hope you guys are having a great day or night whenever you're watching this, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.
Hello from editing me. I just wanted to come on here because I am really thankful for 1,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. Thank you so much for watching and engaging in conversation with me. It brings so much joy into my life, and yeah, I just wanted to thank you all. And I'm going to try and see how the community tab works so I could do a 1K Q&A, but for now you can leave any questions you might have for me in that video. It can be personal, it can be book related, it can be anything you want to ask me. I'll most likely answer. So yes, just write your questions down below, or maybe pop onto my Instagram and maybe I'll do like a I also don't know how that works, but I'll try and figure it out. And so you guys can send in questions and I will answer them. So yeah, love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye.